Hi everybody, Donna L. Holloman here. This is my vlog called The Spiritual Archer. Spiritual Archer based on my ebook. I'm writing it. I'm in the middle of writing it. If I miss a week, please forgive me, please. And I'm still putting on quotes if I don't have time, but I will try my best to make it every Thursday. And first today, I'd just like to thank you for stopping by. And the Spiritual Archer blog is to hopefully help people navigate the intense nature of the spiritual awakening process, especially when the catalyst is a twin flame experience. The twin flame experience can be so super duper intense with love and attraction and everything in between that is taking us to another level of consciousness. It's without us actually realizing we just jumped on the wave of ocean and it's taken us to another place, especially when it came down to that twin flame experience. But with the twin flame experience, I think there's a lot of people that are actually going through the spiritual awakening process and don't really know. But these are for those who kind of know what's going on, understand, probably had the twin flame process, but also maybe had an awakening in another type of way. This is not really just focused on the twin flame itself, but in general terms, it's based on the intense nature of the spiritual awakening. And today I like to talk about how I was able to tame my monkey mind. There was a question on one of the groups, and he said that no matter what he did, he went to so many gurus and so many places to figure out how to meditate, how to slow down that monkey mind. The monkey mind concept came from the Buddhist concept. You know, your mind is living in the outside world. I don't have the exact term, but it refers to our primate selves. Well, anyway, in our natural everyday life, our monkey mind goes crazy. We could be thinking about anything at any given moment, and most of the time, the monkey mind is so unconscious, we don't know that we're thinking so much. We just take our focuses off of it or away from it and continue with our lives. But the problem with that is our minds tend to find certain things that cause some feelings to want to come to surface. And sometimes we don't understand why this particular feeling is coming to surface. And there's a lot of feelings that could come to surface. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't do psychiatry or anything like that. This is all based on my personal experience through coming through or going through the spiritual awakening process, and my catalyst happened to be a twin flame. But I could possibly have been awakening before I met the twin flame, maybe to prep myself. But the twin flame was definitely in my focus at the time. So today we're going to just talk about how you control or how you tame that monkey mind. Now, the monkey mind, how I personally tamed my monkey mind, is when I first just simply became aware of it. That's the start. The start is becoming aware that your thoughts are going a million, trillion, zillion miles a minute. And most of the times we are moving a million, trillion times a minute. We don't have time, or we didn't even want to focus on our thoughts, because sometimes if we choose to focus on our thoughts, we'll just get more and more frustrated with it. So the question here was arisen from, like I mentioned, somebody in a group said, so how do I tame my monkey mind? Because I've been through so many gurus and been all over the world and can't seem to let go or tame that monkey mind. Well, the first thing you want to do or not do is to take action. You don't want to take action. You just want to be aware of it. It's just like looking at a movie, for example. Just be aware that you have that monkey mind. And how we continuously help the monkey mind tame itself is to follow the breadcrumbs of feelings. Because some feelings that come up, it just sometimes come out of nowhere, and sometimes we find feelings that we see somebody and we like get pissed off, or something triggers us. There's a lot of things that may trigger us that's going around. Well, the thing is to be aware of the triggers. The feelings that crop up came from a thought. And most of the time you can focus on that thought, on that, not on the thought, but on the feeling itself, and work your way through that one feeling. You're going to have to do it one at a time though. And as we do it one at a time, one feeling that comes up that triggers us, go into the trigger. Pick some triggers maybe that are not as serious. Like start out with a trigger that something pisses you off. Instead of thinking about it, instead of using your mind to wonder where that feeling came from, just go in as feeling itself. And try not to focus on the person who may have helped you trigger that feeling. But basically I am triggering the feeling, not the other person is triggering that feeling. I'm finding something inside of me is triggered. So I want to go into that trigger. And the more I focus and put myself into the trigger, that trigger itself will start a whirlwind. The whirlwind would come up, and instead of reacting, it's pretty much what I talk about in most of my videos. Instead of reacting, it just goes into a tidal wave and then out. But if we react to it, it doesn't tidal wave and it doesn't go out. It just gets bigger next time. So as soon as we find a trigger, pick a trigger. I mean, there's many, I'm sure we have many triggers. And that is our training ground for learning how to tame our monkey mind, believe it or not. Because the more we focus on our triggers, the more the focus of the feeling goes to that one thought that may have been a trigger from something that happened in another lifetime. Maybe when you were a kid, so your brother took your lollipop or something. It could be anything, but we use our mind to focus on the trigger that's outside of ourselves instead of focus on the trigger itself. So the more we focus on our triggers itself, and the more we suffer, you have to pretty much suffer, because the suffering actually lasts a zillion times shorter than actually reacting to it. So there's 3 ways, and I wrote that down, is awareness. You want to be aware of your monkey mind, because most people are not. A lot of times I was not aware of my monkey mind. I did not know until I actually looked at my mind and I saw all this stuff going on, trillions and trillions and trillions of baby critters screaming all over the place in my mind. And then you want to source the thought through the feeling. The feeling is the one that the thought came from. The thought created this feeling, but see, we're not aware of our thoughts. So the feeling comes up and you don't know where exactly the feeling came from. Sometimes, just like you might see a person that triggers it. So go into the triggers, any triggers. And then allowance. You want to allow the pain to come up. And sometimes it's super strong, but then once you put your awareness on it until it finally just poosh and it's gone. So the more you practice that, the better chances you have at meditation. Because when you focus on the feelings itself are the thoughts that we have. So what we're doing is we're transcending the feelings, which is also transcending the thought about the feeling that we just had. And now we're learning to live in this moment. In this moment, I had a feeling, and in this moment, I was able to transcend it. And that's our meditation. It's awareness of what's happening inside as well as outside. And also, gratitude. Once you have released, oh my God, heaven on earth. Donna L. Holloman here, and my vlog is a spiritual archer, and my book right here, Stranger on the Elevator. Subscribe, stay in touch. I know I'm going to have this book written. This is my first book, and I'm doing my best. And of course, you read my story. I'm in my closet. Well, really, because I'm on the East Coast, so the weather is not always very beautiful, but it's beautiful every day. I should take that back. but I don't want to stand in the rain with my iPhone. And using another room because my rooms are also being taken for, I guess I have a big family. And I love the acoustics in here, so it's working out good so far. Anyway, thank you for stopping by, and I wish you guys all the best. And again, until next time, namaste.